Yes.
I have a joke.
Okay, let's hear your joke.
What do you call a geyser that's filled with mushrooms?
I don't know.
A fungizer.
Oh, fungizer. That's cute.
Thanks.
Wow, this is pretty cool. It's shooting water up in the air, steam. The smoke is different colors as it comes up, and it's just gushing up a big storm.
Day 2 in Yellowstone. We came out here to the Grand Prismatic Springs, and just a word of caution, if you've never been to Yellowstone before, it gets pretty busy here. We are camped in Grizzly Resort, RV Resort, on west entrance of Yellowstone. If you come here, give yourself a little bit of extra time, because there's a lot of people here. It's a very busy park. It's a very pretty park. There's a lot of cool things to see, so everybody here wants to see it. But have a little patience. Give yourself some time. It might take you a little while to get through sometimes here and there. But yeah, definitely worth it. Let's go see some of this stuff.
So at this point, it kind of looks like a nuclear wasteland.
It kind of does, but it's a smoking one.
All right, let me show the people.
So it's painted pots, which starts out, I think, as a mud flat, right? And then the mud ends up in different colors, if I understood correctly.
Right,
Like an artist's palette.
but why?
Bacteria and microscopic animals.
Sounds yummy.
Dinner.
Let's go get a sample. Double trouble, bubble and boil. Fountain paint pot. That looks like a nice color for the walls. What do you think?
I am totally on board for having that the color of the walls of our RV.
Well, we're at Upper Falls, brink of Upper Falls, getting ready to go look over the edge. But before we get there, you gotta see this.
Oh man.
That is something.
That's just amazing.
What do you say? Should we head down there?
I say let's get our kayaks and go for it.
Guys, do you literally see this right now? This is crazy.
What are you looking at?
It's a big waterfall.
Here, let me show the people what you're looking at.
Yeah. Look at that. Fantastic.
Pretty powerful too, huh?
Yeah.
Hey Jeremy, you ready to get your kayak and join me? You first.
A little better out here off the beaten path. There's an observation trail that goes up above Old Faithful, so maybe the path less traveled, at least for the time being. We seem to be out here pretty much all alone. So very pretty, very nice hike, very quiet, and I'm sure we'll get to see the top of Old Faithful, so that's very cool.
We're hanging out here at the top of Observation Point, right? Waiting for Old Faithful to blow. If you look way down there, you'll see a little steam right now. I think it's gathering steam, and hopefully we'll catch it at just the right moment. Here's a little bit. Come on. Oh yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Hey, that smells like eggs for some reason.
It's called sulfur, kiddo.
I know, but it smells like eggs.
So this is a shout out to Uncle Martin, or Uncle Joke, as the kids tell him. This area behind me here, this hot springs, yeah, not for fishing, dude. Your lure would melt before it hit the water. However, if we go over this way just a touch, here's your river. All right, lots of fly fishing. So come on up to Yellowstone, do some fly fishing, have your way with the rainbow and brown trout. You'd be a happy man. But this, yeah, no, Don't get in that. No fish in there. Lava fish maybe.
Yellowstone is probably the first place that we've been where the wildlife is just right there in front of you. It's not some squirrel running back into a tree or some bird high up where you can barely see it. Everything is right there in front of you. The wildlife there has no fear. No fear of humans or traffic or anything. So they'll just kind of walk right out into the road and block traffic for a while. They'll come up close to the edge of everything. So you may find yourself walking down a trail and all of a sudden, you know, 200 yards in the distance is a ginormous bison that you can just hang out and watch, and they'll come right at you, which one of the things we learned is when they come at you, it's your job to back off, because you definitely want to keep that distance, especially with animals like bison that are super fast moving. You wouldn't think that big old hunk of animal could move fast, but I think we saw somewhere that they run at about 35 miles an hour. But really what I loved about Yellowstone was just no matter where you looked, you saw something that you just aren't gonna see anywhere else. You know, you saw the Grand Prismatic Spring, which in and of itself is absolutely stunning, but I have to be honest, my favorite part was actually walking up to it from a distance, because all of the steam rising off of it was rainbow colored. You got to see just rainbow clouds spread out across the horizon and really surprisingly sharp colors. Everything from the bright blue, and I can't even describe this blue because it's not a color you find anywhere else, all the way through the copper reds and oranges and yellows, all just kind of laid out in front of you. And then you could go somewhere else and you would see these tan, I don't know, off-white colored bubbling mud pits that don't even look like a normal color for mud, but they're just popping and bubbling away and having a grand old time. Or you can go somewhere else where the water is like an ice blue pond, or almost clear for as far as you can see, and it's just spitting and spurting and bubbling up everywhere and sometimes throwing up jets. And it's kind of, my kids thought that part was hilarious when all of a sudden the body of water would start popping out jets of water everywhere. You know, and the geysers are, you know, I knew that the geysers there were big, but until you stand in front of them and watch one go off in front of you, it's shocking how large those geysers are. And it's, again, something you just don't get to see every day. So while I always thought going to Yellowstone would be a pretty incredible thing because you hear about it all the time, I don't think that you can really understand what it's like until it's standing right there in front of you. The majesty of it all, the otherworldliness of it all, it is mind-boggling.